Welcome. Why don't we start on our backs? And you're welcome to bend your knees if that's more comfortable. Maybe you like having them out to the side or resting in together, or perhaps you just like them straight. Whatever feels right for your body. Feel free to take a moment and try different positions to really get a sense of what works best for you. And throughout the class, if I give any instructions that don't work for you, please always just listen to your body. That's the teacher here. And if you're able to close your eyes, I invite you to do so. And let's just start feeling the feet on the ground. So maybe the bottoms of the feet or the heels. If you happen to be in legs up the wall position, you can feel the feet on the wall. And then with your mind, just scan up the back of your body to all the places where your body touches the ground or the wall. Maybe at each place of contact, just pause. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just relax that part into the ground a little more. And whenever you're finished, and if you're not finished yet, please take your time. Whenever you are finished, switch your attention to the feel of your breath. And in particular, bringing awareness to the belly and allowing the inhale to expand the belly out like you're blowing up a balloon. And then on the exhale, like releasing the air out of the balloon, the belly relaxes in. Then on your next breath, after the belly has filled with air, continue the inhale to fill and expand the ribs. And then on your next inhale, filling the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. without losing that breath or your awareness of it. Extend the arms overhead. If you can, bring them onto the ground behind you if your shoulders permit. And then as you inhale, reach out of the right arm, extending long through the fingers, almost like the breath is going belly, ribs, chest, hand. And then as you exhale, just relax the reach, relaxing the belly. So the breath starts in the belly and ripples up and extends out as you reach through the fingers of the right hand. We're not alternating yet. We're just doing the right side. And on your next breath, switch to your left arm. On your next breath, we're going to switch back to the right arm and we're going to add the left leg. So if your knees are bent, now is the time to straighten their legs. And we're going to start from the center and expand outward as we reach right arm and left leg. So you might want to reach through your heel, you might want to reach through your toes, whichever works for you. See if you can feel the center point where things move away from. So the reach from the left leg comes from here, and the reach from the right arm also starts here. And then on your next breath, we're going to change sides, left arm and right leg. Use your breath to help create that expansion. Okay. Now we're going to do both arms and both legs. And I want you to see if you can feel where the lines cross. So there's a line that goes from your right arm to your left foot and from your left arm to your right foot. And my guess is that the places where they cross is that same center point from which the stretch originates. But see for yourself. expanding out and contracting in. Now see if you can keep the breath uninterrupted, and on your next exhale, just bring your hands to your knees. And then as you inhale, let the fullness of your breath rock the thighs a little bit away from you, but still holding on with the knee to the knees. And then as you exhale, draw them in. Now see how much of this can happen just from the breath. So the hands are kind of guiding, but can you feel how the fullness of your breath kind of initiates that movement of the thighs rocking away? And how when you exhale and the belly drops back in, that allows the thighs to come back in, just adding a little bit of help with the hands. Good. Now, without interrupting the breath, we're going to see what happens when the movement is less linear. So we're going to start circling the knees out away from each other, not moving them as one unit, but mirroring, letting them mirror each other, the right knee moving right and the left knee moving left. And circle them around. And see if this also can be coordinated with your breath somehow. Just see for yourself where in the movement the breath wants to come in and where it wants to go out. And then circle the other way. Just rotating them. Still mirroring each other, just changing the direction of the circles. So they're moving in toward each other and then away from each other. Toward each other and away from each other. Beautiful. And then the next time you come out to the side, just stay there. And you can let the hands rest on the inner legs or the outer legs, or you don't need to use the hands at all, but I personally find that it helps deepen the stretch to add that support. And then feel how the breath and the posture relate to one another. Does the breathing intensify the stretch at all? Does it ease the stretch at all? Does it not impact it at all? See for yourself. And then help the knees back in, hug them into the chest, hold the knees into the chest, continue to breathe deeply. And just see what happens when the belly is somewhat restricted by the thighs coming in toward it. Does that change the placement of the breath, the position of the breath, the fullness of the breath? Where do you feel the breath now? And then you can let the feet come back down. See if you've stopped the rhythm of your breathing just because you're not in a posture officially anymore. And see if you can maintain that steadiness of breath throughout the class, even in the transitions. And then we'll roll over onto the right side. You'll have your right arm extended out and your head resting on your right arm. And then extend your left leg straight out. So if the right knee needs to be bent for stability, that's fine, but have your left leg straight. Then we'll take the left arm overhead and then grab hold of the wrist with the other hand. And then as you inhale, stretch long, reaching long through the left foot and long through the left hand. You can use that right hand to help the left hand stretch longer. And then as you exhale, you can let everything shrink back in again. You want to try to stay on your side to the best of your ability. You can leave your left toe on the ground if that helps stabilize you. You don't have to have it off the ground, but you can. And so you're stretching on the inhale and relaxing on the exhale. So there's actual movement that's happening, lengthening and contracting. And I've been asking you so far to ask how the breathing affects your stretch. And here I want you to see how the stretching affects your breathing. How does this reaching seem to impact your breath, if at all? Okay, and then you can relax and release your left wrist. And we're just going to reach back and take hold of the left foot with the left hand and pull the heel in toward the buttock. And then try to lower that left knee so that it's in line with the right knee. And then press your hips forward while pulling your heel toward your buttock. In an ideal world, your thigh is extending straight down from your torso, so you're not bringing your knee in front of you, but it's straight down from you. In an ideal world, we all know we don't live in an ideal world. I'm just offering that in case it's possible. Beautiful. Now go ahead and release and let that left knee come down to the ground in front of you. I'm going to slide that right arm out from underneath the head out to the side. And then try to lay your left shoulder down onto the ground, taking your left arm behind you. And see if you can breathe belly, ribs, chest, even though the belly, the ribs, and the chest are all twisted. Turn your gaze to the left. Breathe all the air in that you possibly can. And then when you exhale, just relax and just intend for that left shoulder to come down. And then we're going to lift that left knee and bring it all the way over to the left side and turn your whole body over onto the left side and extend that left arm overhead so that your head is once again resting on your arm. Now on the other side. So you're laying on your left side. And then we'll bring the right arm overhead and take hold of the wrist with the left hand. We're not doing a twist, we're doing the side stretch. So you're laying your head on top of you're on your side with your head laying on top of your left arm, and your right leg is straight down. Straight out, straight down, just laying on your side. That's it. And then as you inhale, you're reaching out long through your right foot and your right arm, maybe using your left hand to help stretch your right arm, reaching out of your right leg simultaneously. And then relaxing on the exhale. Inhale, reach out through the foot and through the hand. Exhale, relax. Two. And then you can let go of that right wrist and bring the right foot back behind you, taking hold of it with your right hand. Moving maybe slowly to hopefully avoid cramping. And then to the best of your ability, you want to have your right leg coming straight down from your torso. So not in front of you, just straight down if you can. And then pull the heel as close to the buttock as you're able. And then press the hips forward. And you want to try not to have the knee all the way up in the air, but having it kind of level with your hip. Have you lost connection to your breathing? Okay, and then you can release that foot and let the right knee come down to the ground on the floor in front of you. And you'll slide that left arm out from under your head. You'll turn your head to the ground. Bring the right arm to the ground behind you and turn your head to the right. Imagine that you're breathing from your left hip to your right shoulder. Feel the breath pouring in. And then when you exhale, let everything relax. See if you can even feel the breath down in the lowest part of your belly. Kind of inside where that right leg is folding. And then bring the right arm back over. And we'll stay laying on the left side, and then just let both of your knees bend. So your left arm is extending straight out to the side, perpendicular to your body. Place your right hand on top of your left hand. And then slide it out even further so that the fingertips touch the ground. And as you inhale, reach. And then as you exhale, relax. Inhale, reaching past your left hand. Exhale, relaxing. A few more times on your own. And then the next time the hand comes out, pass the other hand onto the floor. Keep it there. And we're going to start to circle on the ground, skimming the fingertips, almost like your arm is the hand of a clock, going in a full circle overhead and behind you. And for as much as you can, try to keep the fingertips touching the ground. At some point, for most of you, the fingers will need to come off the ground, which is totally fine, and then return them back to the ground as soon as you can. The hand will go over your body in order to continue the circle, finding the floor again. And we'll do 3 big circles. Use your breath. And then once you've done 3 circles in this direction, pause for a moment, and then circle the other way. So you want to keep the fingertips touching the floor for as much of the circle as possible, skimming and reaching. And probably you've all done 3 by now, so if you haven't already changed directions, change directions. Keeping the fingertips on the ground. And then once you've done 3 in this direction, you can just rest your hands. Beautiful. And then we're going to open the body just like opening a hardcover book, lifting that right arm, lifting the right knee, opening, 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 and then closing by going the other way. Bringing everything over to the other side. And now the right arm will extend out perpendicular to the body. We're on our side with the knees bent. And we'll rest the left hand on top of the right hand. And then inhale and reach the fingertips out past the other hand as far as you can. And then relax it back. Inhale, reach. And try not to move your body. So you don't want to rotate your body down. You want to keep your body still so that the reaching is just coming from the arm and the shoulder blade. Last one. And then when the fingertips are touching the ground, hold them there. And then start to circle, skimming the ground with your fingers. So the distance between your hands and your knees is not a straight line unless you do it in the air. Don't do it in the air. Touch the ground. So when the hand comes behind you, if you're not able to return the hand to the floor, that's fine. Maybe the hand skims over the thighs and then comes right back to the ground. So at the first moment that your hand can return to the ground, bring it back. And then once you've done 3 in this direction, pause for a moment and then go the other way. And you're making the biggest circle that you can. So you're reaching as you're circling. And since the arm is like the arm of a clock, it doesn't bend. When it goes overhead, if bending it helps you touch the floor, but straightening it takes it off the floor, keep it straight. Sorry, I didn't say that earlier. And then once you've completed your last circle, just let your hands rest. And then you can bring the left hand to the ground and the right arm back under your head. Just coming into seedlings pose for a moment. Just taking in how it feels to be in this resting posture, to be breathing, to be alive. Taking the sounds, taking the sensations, taking the breath. And then slowly press yourself up to hands and knees. See if you can stay connected to the breath. Remember, even in the transitions. So it's like, you know how in a movie, there's always music in the background. There's always a score. The score to our yoga practice is the breath. It's happening all the time in the background, and we're just going to know that it's happening. So we're going to line the hands up under the shoulders, the knees up under the hips. And then we're going to just wag the tail from side to side. And now we're going to look over the left shoulder when the hips go left. and look over the right shoulder when the hips go right, so that you're actually making a C shape, the letter C like Charlie, C shape with your body, with your spine. Yep. The right shoulder moves toward the right hip. The left shoulder moves toward the left hip. Just turning the spine side to side. Great. And then come back to center. We'll move the spine the other direction. Inhaling, tilting the tailbone up, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, lifting the eyes. Exhale, tailbone down, and then let it ripple all the way up. So you're coordinating the movement with your breath. And just like the breath doesn't come in all at once, it slowly fills in. The movement of the spine doesn't happen all at once. It can, but we're going to do it gradually. We're going to start at the tailbone and then articulate the movement one vertebra at a time until it finishes at the head, both on the inhale and the exhale, the cat and the cow. Beautiful. Okay. And then come back to table pose, back to a flat spine. Walk the hands over to the left and step your right foot forward. And then walk your hands back so that they're on either side of the foot, and let your hips sink down and forward. So one arm is on the outside of your leg and the other one is on the inside. You want to have the ankle under the knee. So your foot needs to be forward enough so that the knee is not bending too much. Good. And those of you who like to work harder, you're welcome to do one of the other variations. I'm not going to name them because those of you who like to work harder, you know what they are. But those of you who are staying in this basic lunge, you are welcome to lift your arms. I personally like to press down with one hand and lift the other one. That gives me the length, but you're welcome to stay down. You're welcome to have both arms lifted. Make it your own practice. And then see how the breath interrelates to the posture. Especially if the arm is lifted, does that make some more space for the breath? Bring your hips down a little more, perhaps, as you exhale. Beautiful. And then release the hands down. Send the hips back, walking the hands back. Straightening that front leg. Point and flex the foot. And take your time with it. No movement is ever perfunctory in yoga. And then hold the flex position. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release over. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release over. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release over, and then just rest here. Drop your head. And then if your hands come to the ground, not everybody's flexible enough for the hands to come to the ground, but if your hands do come to the ground, take weight out of your hands. Bend your elbows a little bit, just get some slack in your arms. And just let your hands touch down for balance. You want to still have your front foot flexed. And then long, slow breathing. Every time you exhale, scoop your lower belly in and up. Your breath is your friend here. Breathe all the air in that you can. And lift your head, bring the arm inside, send the knee back. Walk the hands over to the right, stepping your left foot up, bending that knee and sinking your hips, bringing one hand on either side of the foot or whatever variation you're choosing for your lunge today. Just let the hips drop down. So just kind of exhale and just drop them. Just kind of let them go. And then if you want to use a different variation of your arms, feel free. Keep trying to move your hips forward and down. If your arm or arms are up, you can inhale and reach. Exhale and sink. Beautiful. Bring the arms down if you have them lifted, one hand on either side. Sending the hips back, walking the hands in, straightening that left leg as best as you can. Point and flex the foot. Hold the flex position. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Stay folded, but inhale and look up. Exhale, fold. Stay folded. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold, and stay there. Relaxing your head. Completely let go of your head. And then put even the slightest bend in your elbows. And just be light on your fingers. Just have them touch down for balance. So there's not a sense that you're using your arms in any way. And then stream your breath nice and long through your body. And then lift your head, bring your left arm to the inside of your leg. Step the left knee back. Send the hands in front of your shoulders, spreading the fingers wide. Curl the toes under as you inhale and lift the knees as you exhale, pushing back through the hips. Drop the chest, release the head down, and then roll the elbows down. So if the elbows are facing left and right, imagine that you're trying to get them to face the floor. And then press into the index fingers and thumbs even more. Send your hips back, send your thighs back, press your heels down. Now breathe, belly, ribs, chest, even upside down. If weight is in the heels of your hands, try to push it into the fingers of your hands. Collapse the chest down. Let go of the head completely, maybe even shake it out a couple of times. Beautiful. Walk the feet up to the hands. With knees soft, roll yourself up. And reach the arms up. Inhale. And exhale the arms down. Just stand here for a moment, feeling your feet, feeling your breath, feeling your aliveness. Maybe turn the palms to face forward. And then let the weight of your body drop down into your left foot. Send the right foot a little bit out to the side and rest on the toe of your right foot. Take the arms out to the side. And then inhale and expand. And then exhale, if you can, lift your right leg, drop your left arm, and come into a 5-pointed star, but balancing on that foot, if you can. If not, you're going to stay like this, and you're going to breathe our 5-pointed star breath. And if you're in the balance, don't lose sight of the breath, moving from that center point that we identified in the beginning of the class in all directions. Last breath. And return. Staying with the breath, relaxing the arms. Stepping out with the left toes, feeling the weight in the right foot. Haven't lost the rhythm of the breath. Now just add the lifting of the left leg. Taking your 5-pointed star. And breathing from your center out in all directions. Beautiful. And release down. Step your feet a little wider than hip width apart. Turn the toes wider than the heels. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees and come down into a squat. Sink your sit bones, lengthen your low back, breathe into it. And then release your hands to the ground, release your buttocks to the ground. Release your whole body onto the ground, onto your back, starting with the knees bent initially. Still feeling that same flow of aliveness going through you. Notice if you've lost it while you were transitioning. And then you'll tuck your hips under and then release your legs out flat and shake the legs out. If you're using an eye pillow and you want to place that on your eyes now, please do. And then we're going to come back into that 5-pointed star for our Shavasana. So you're going to have your legs wide, if they're not already, and the arms out to the side. And we're going to inhale from the center and reach out in all directions through the toes and the fingers. And then exhale, feel everything releasing back into the center and back into the ground. And then on your next breath in, we'll exhale and release the jaw, letting the mouth gently part open. And then another breath in. And as you exhale, release the activity of your mind. And then bring your awareness just to the feeling of your breath. Wherever you might feel it. And we'll let go of breathing in any particular way. Just letting the breath breathe for you. It's okay if it's a tiny breath, a shallow breath, a quick breath. Graciously receive whatever breath is offered with delight. Just letting your mind rest in this gift of breath happening. Deeply relaxed. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Breathe into your heart. Move fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath. Stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest. Rocking gently side to side. Feeling the ground massaging your back. And then come center, bring the soles of the feet together, the palms of the hands together, rub hand to hand and foot to foot. And roll over onto either side, resting your head on your underside arm, resting your body on the ground, and resting your awareness in the gift of this moment. Whatever's here, see how you feel, see what you feel. Maybe appreciating the fact that you can feel it all. And then when you're ready, press yourself up slowly to a sitting position. Try to let your head come up last. Come into any comfortable seated posture. Sinking down through the sit bones, lifting tall to the crown of the head. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, the hands together at the heart. Inhale, lift the heart to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax them. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste. Thanks for being with me today. Have a great week.